Greetings, one and all. It is I, Mr. J, welcoming you to yet another, what I'm sure will be an informative and tragic evening of quiz-based content on lovewrestling.ca. Yes, that's right. It is time. It is now time for yet another edition of Quizplex. I must inform you all that I am contractually obligated to be here. I do not care who wins. I do not care who loses. Because in my humble, let's be honest, not so humble opinion, I know all these answers. And you should too. So, why bother? But isn't it funny to watch people get things wrong? That's why I'm here. And that's probably why you're here too. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for your main event. That's right. It's time. It's time. It's Quizplex time. With your host, Zach Ralph.
I cannot hear Zach.
I can't hear it all, Zach.
Zach,
And I had a good spiel and everything. I had the flow going. Well, that's a shame. Let's just take it from the top. I thank Mr. J for the fantastic intro, but this evening I will be going by Zach Animal Ralph. Thank you very much for joining us for our pro wrestling pub trivia show. This is Quizplex. Thank you much for joining me. I would have loved to have kicked things off with a good spirited "What a Rush," but if I went full gusto, I worried I would have pulled something. But as you can tell by our face paint, by our makeup, by our choice in garb, we are here for our Halloween edition of Quizplex. Zach is hiding right since he couldn't talk. Well, that's an observation. Thank you very much, Ed. That's I have no objection to that one. But yeah, got any poetry? Oh, I do not have my poetry on me. Actually, the person who you heard in the introduction there, that was the host of Poetry of a Promo here on Love Wrestling, and I think he would be better equipped to drop some hide and rake on us.
Good luck.
Yeah, but again, as we as you can tell, it's Halloween. We're going to have very spooky themed questions on tonight's pro wrestling pub trivia. And joining me tonight, I have three of the best people I know in the wrestling industry and fandom. First, she won the Love Wrestling Championship earlier this month at Change the Game, balancing books with striking good looks. It is Taryn from accounting. How you doing?
I'm awesome. Thanks.
Awesome. I'm not the only person who was speaking while muted tonight, so that weight is off my shoulders.
Thank you. Dog is going crazy next to me, so I've got like spoonfuls of peanut butter that I'm like trying to shut him up with.
Anyone who has tuned into any of my streams or podcasts knows that Quizplex is going to be a very pet-friendly environment. So we welcome the dogs. They're amazing. Hey, James, I like you on Twitter. Absolutely. James goes viral just about each and every week with one new mashup or another of Photoshop between one wrestler and other pop culture icons. Mr. Punderful himself, James Vanderbeek, thanks for joining us tonight.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, hey, thanks for having me. Appreciate the invite. I really do.
Yeah, glad to have you. And lastly, certainly not least, dude living a career renaissance after a lengthy absence from in-ring action. Also one of the head honchos at one of my favorite local wrestling promotions, IWS, Professor H Shayne Hawke. How you doing, friend?
Oh, very good, boys and girls. Ready to play a little pub trivia. It's actually Shayne Hawke.
Spit take. I wish I was taking a sip. Could have been a perfect spit take. So just before we really jump into the pub trivia, I want to do a quick shout out, and I think Shane will want to join me on this one. Pro wrestler and graphic novelist Animal Bob Angers is doing a Kickstarter right now. He's in the very last hour while we air this Quizplex live. They're doing a comic book magazine building on the world of the cult horror comedy Psycho Gorman. Bob has put together an amazing team of illustrators and writers. Shane among them, of course.
Like me.
So if you're watching us, please do a little multitasking. Open up a second window, head over to Kickstarter, check out Psycho Gorman. Very much worth your time, and kick a few bucks while you're there, and tell him Love Wrestling sent you.
Zach, it's Psycho Gorman, please.
I'm
Psycho
sorry.
Gorman.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's like he knows it has Spider-Man. It's Superman, it's Spider-Man.
It's Psycho Gorman. But also, I made the same mistake, and then I did it when I was pitching my script for the story, so not as bad.
When I had Bob on the podcast, like I feel like I said Psycho Gorman like about a dozen times, and he did not once correct me. He was too polite about it.
He's not polite. He just probably didn't notice. He's just old. That's all. He just didn't notice.
We are, of course, jumping into some pro wrestling trivia tonight, but it is not the only game happening. This is pub trivia after all. So what would that be without a little drinking game? You see, I don't work alone on this show. I have a producer who's also the boss here at Love Wrestling. So whenever my tag team partner, Mr. Spencer Love, pops in, you are welcome to join me in an adult beverage. How you doing, friend?
Oh, what a group of guests we've got tonight. I am very excited for what is going to be another great edition of Quizplex. I missed last month's. I was disappointed. It was the first opportunity I had to not produce. However, I can tell you I enjoyed a few drinks that evening regardless, but excited to be back. I hope you guys are all as excited as I am to be hanging out on a Thursday night. Feel free if you guys are in the chat. Of course, we are going by the honor code here, friends, but our guests on the show cannot see the answers in the chat right now, so feel free to throw your questions, comments, anything in there. I'll highlight you guys as I, often appear. I like to make Zach drink as often as I possibly can. What a game we've got lined up for you guys. Zach, take it away.
Yeah, so let's really just kick things off. Let me tell you about how Quizplex is played, how you will earn points in this pro wrestling pub trivia quiz. I'm going to invite the producer, Mr. Spencer, to drop it. There it is. Each player will have the opportunity to answer 2 pro wrestling related questions. They will have 10 seconds to verbally answer each of their questions. If the player gets their first question right, we will immediately move to their second question. While the active player is answering their question, the other players may also answer the same question on their whiteboard or paper. If the active player gets their question wrong, the other contestants can be awarded half points if the answer on their whiteboard is correct. This is round 1, so correct answers for the active player are worth 100 points. Correct answers for questions stolen from the active player are worth 50 points. And with that, are we ready to play Quizplex?
Let's do it.
Do it.
Awesome. With that, here we go. Sorry, Spencer, I actually am surprising you with something. I dropped a new overlay just for a little bit more window room. If you can move on. There it is. There it is. With that, I'm going to ask Jeremy, James Vanderbeek, the first set of questions. And here we go. Name all 5 members who had been part of the Brood / the New Brood.
Edge, the Hardy Boys, Matt and Jeff. New Brood. Oh, shoot. I know Michael P.S. Hayes and Gangrel.
I'm afraid you are missing
I forgot
one person.
Lordy.
I'm afraid you missed Christian. I'm going to ask Shayne and Taryn to show their whiteboards if they have all 5 on their screens. Hardy's, Edge and Christian, Gangrel. Taryn?
Oh, well, I was just about to write Christian because I thought we were only supposed to write what he was missing, but...
Oh, okay. Apologies for the...
Michael PSAs. Dang, one of the idiots.
They were the new Hardys.
No harm at all.
Before that feud.
Yes, sir. Indeed.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be 50 points awarded to Shayne on that first question.
Andrew!
This is going to be so good, it's scary. Thank you very much, Wordsmith. Again, the voice of our intro and extra. Thank you for joining us, as always, here on Quizplex. James Vanderbeek, your second question coming at you.
I'm going to be so bad at this, guys. Sorry, but...
No harm at all. It's all in the spirit of good fun. In their first run on WWE's main roster, did the Wyatt family, being Bray Wyatt, Luke Harper, and Eric Rowan, accumulate any championships?
I believe that is a no.
That is a no. Correct. They did not win any gold until the faction resembled Bray Wyatt, Luke Harper, and Randy Orton, in which they captured tag team gold and the WWE Championship amongst themselves. Thank you to Dana J for the shout out on our face paint. What's up? Thank you so much for joining us. Glad to have everyone joining us for a very spirited Quizplex. We're having a lot of fun so far. But we're going to move on to the next set of questions, which are going to go to Shayne Hawke. Are you ready, sir?
Let's do it.
All right. Your first question. Long before his undefeated streak at WrestleMania was broken, Undertaker's record was not in fact perfect. One of his matches ended in a disqualification victory. Who did The Undertaker defeat?
Yo, I genuinely don't know, so I'm going to guess. Giant Gonzalez.
Well, you are guessing very well this evening. That is the correct answer. He lost by Undertaker won by disqualification at WrestleMania 9.
The Yeti costume, right? The
airbrush joint. He's got abs.
Yes. Oh, I should have made that as my costume today, guys. I wasn't thinking. Sorry about that.
That would have been legendary.
That would have been very ambitious, and I applaud anyone who's pulling on a Giant Gonzalez costume this Halloween. Shout out to Dare Amazing in the shout out to Dare Amazing in the chat for getting that answer right. Shayne, your second question.
Here we go.
What was the name of Kevin Thorne's valet in WWE's reboot of ECW?
Oh man, it's Shelly Martinez, right? So she had a gimmick name. No, I don't got a gimmick name. No, I don't got it. Pass it on to somebody else.
Okay, James, Taryn, what do you have for us?
No clue.
I'm guessing. I pulled it, I think, at the very last second. Ariel?
You pulled it out at the last second, and you did so correctly. That's 50 points for you. Well done.
Wait, but that is Shelly Martinez, right?
Indeed.
Yes, it is.
Thank you, by the way, you reminded me. I was like,
you're welcome. You're welcome. Technically, I should get half points on that. That's okay. We'll move on.
We've got correct answers coming from the people joining us in the chat as well. Well done for everyone participating. We're going to move on to Taryn. We've got your set of questions. Are you okay?
No, man. Like, I don't know anything about wrestling.
You got this.
I thought this was going to be like Seinfeld stuff.
You absolutely got this. It's all in the name of good fun. And your first question during his fan favorite run as Mortis, who did Chris Kanyon team with in WCW?
No clue.
No clue. We will afford James and Shayne a few seconds to write their answers on their whiteboard.
They know it.
Who's going first? I'll go first. Is it Raph?
What do you got, Shayne?
I wrote Glacier.
It is not Glacier. It is indeed Wrath, who was WWF's Atom Bomb before he jumped ship to WCW.
Wait, now we're using other names.
Well, I mean, like, no,
it's always gimmick names.
Yeah, see, caught you. Yeah, Glacier, whatever. They had the whole martial arts gimmick, okay? It was a thing.
Again, it was great when WCW just leaned into that Mortal Kombat vibe for like the lower mid card. It was great stuff. Yeah. Your second question, Taryn, is a true or false question. AEW's Abaddon used to wrestle as Margot Kincaid.
I don't know, but I like Abaddon. I'm going to say true.
Before I confirm or deny that one, I'm just going to ask, since it's a 50-50, I'm going to ask James and Shayne to present their answers.
I also put true.
I put false. I want to be contrarian.
Well, contrarian gets you more points, friend.
Oh,
false. She has performed as Abaddon for the entirety of her career thus far. Yes. And so concludes round one. I'm going to... what do we got? We tell Hawk that Dr. Bob has 2 answers over him. Dr. Bob.
Tell Dr. Bob that I love him very much, and I hope I see him soon in a safe and fun fashion.
Oh, that's delightful.
A safe and fun faction. There is a shirt opportunity. With that, we conclude round one. So I'm going to invite Mr. Spencer pop in and inform us what the scoreboard looks like. Well, I guess we're having
the only reason was I just wanted to make you guys drink.
Oh, come on.
Salud.
Look,
Salud.
I thought it was fun. Also, I
was
very
fun.
much appreciated Bob Anger's joke. Just a good one.
What did Bob Anger say?
Well, it's
Wait, is
still
this
up there.
What?
Is this Doc? I don't think that's
Dr. Bob is
Animal.
not Bob Anger. These are two
Oh
different
well, shit. Well, I'm gonna leave up.
people. Sorry, I'm so popular and just attracting everybody to the stream over here. Whew.
He is leaving just so he can pop back in and make me take another
Yes.
sip. Drink
That's
responsibly,
exactly.
I like
friends.
this guy.
We
I
like
Spencer.
having a good time on the show, but drink responsibly.
I like to think we're doing both. We're having a good time, and most importantly, everybody is trying their best. We've got a barn burner right now. Taryn from accounting in a close second after round one. However, we got James and we got Hawke battling it out, 200 points apiece to tie for first after round one of Quizplex. This is it's a tight one, folks. Man, it's a hot one, as they said in the 1999 hit single Smooth. Very exciting state.
Wow, that's a reference.
Amazing.
That's a reference.
Well, that concludes round one. We're going to take our first break. I'd like to also thank anyone who tuned in. I know that Alicia Atut was advertised to join us this evening. She sends her regrets. But in place of that, we're going to do a quick little presentation from her appearance on my other show, the Smark and Friends podcast, filmed at Change the Game just a few weeks back. And yeah, take it away, Spencer. All right. What is your name?
Alicia Atut, the Unity Queen.
And what will you be doing at Change the Game?
I will be hosting and cheering on one of my best buds in the world, Spencer Love.
Alicia, it is October. Do you believe in ghosts?
Yes, I've experienced some really strange things.
Oh, these were short form answers originally, but I think I need to ask you to elaborate.
So there was at one point, one of my friends and I, we had a charger cord for a phone, clearly just laid on top of the bed. We come back to the room, maybe half an hour later after grabbing a bite, cord's completely gone. We think, okay, who moved it? Who put this somewhere? What ended up happening is we searched the entire room, lifted up the mattress, and the cord was in the middle of the bed, underneath the mattress. Ghosts.
That's the only explanation. What is your go-to karaoke song?
Wanna Be by Spice Girls, 100%. Or Mr. Big, To Be With You.
Rename the hot dog. Go.
Wiener in a bun.
Who would play Alicia in a biopic?
Ooh, okay. I always get compared to, like, Kathy Kelly and Demi Lovato, so maybe one of those two. I don't see it, but that's what people say.
If you had to, could you kill your clone?
Yes. Yeah, oh my god, they'd be dead.
No
Yes,
hesitation. Stone cold.
God.
What's the worst way you could describe what you do for a living?
I stalk people for hours and then approach them and ask them questions.
It's a zombie apocalypse. What wrestling move is keeping you safe?
Ooh, I'll just throw punches left and right. Just devastating punches and kicks. But like, not super kicks because I have a bruised tailbone right now, so we're going forward beat.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That was from the most recent edition of Smark and Friends on lovewrestling.ca, which also featured Taryn from accounting in the episode as well. And before we move on to round two, I have a question for everyone. This is not for points. What wrestling move is keeping you safe in the zombie apocalypse? Taryn?
You know what? I'm going to have to agree with Alicia. You just got to throw some haymakers. Hope something sticks.
Shane, you look like you're disagreeing with that one.
It's a foolish choice. You see, you don't want to let them get close to you, okay? So everybody knows that when you get Irish whipped, you keep running forever unless something stops you. It's like a cardio hack. So what you do is you have somebody Irish whip you, and then you never stop running ever, and then you never get caught by zombies, and eventually they decompose. Then you can stop running.
James, what do you got?
Does Arn Anderson's Glock count?
Yes, it absolutely counts.
All right, there we go.
Yeah.
The Glock.
Excellent shout right there. Dare Amazing with the V trigger or the choke slam. Thank you for taking the opportunity to do so. Dara, I was about to ask the chat rooms on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch to present their answers as well. Very curious for what you got. But we're going to jump into round 2, in which the gameplay is the exact same, but what's different is the points on this one. In round 2, correct answers for the active player are worth 200 points. Correct answers for questions stolen from the active player are worth 100 points. So begins round 2. We are going to begin with Taryn. Are you ready?
You got this.
You totally got this.
You got this.
These are the most supportive contestants I've ever seen. I love it. I love it.
They want my points.
No, I'm being nice.
As aired on a Raw filmed in Tennessee, which demonic wrestler briefly held WWE's 24/7 championship under his shoot name? We will accept the shoot name or his working name.
I'm just gonna say Kane.
Kane is absolutely correct. Tennessee was the big clue there. The big red machine, Glenn Kane Jacobs. I laughed when I typed that joke, but as I've said it out loud,
Mayor effing Glenn.
Mayor
Hell
effing
yeah.
Glenn.
Hell yeah. Big red machine just like me.
Ecto in the chat, pop for the Glock.
Pop, pop.
I feel like that could be like taken in several different directions. That was a good play on words. Taryn, your second question for round 2. Which former pro wrestler appeared as a bounty hunter in Rob Zombie's black comedy horror film, The Devil's Rejects?
Oh. I don't know. I'm going to say Gangrel, but
I'm afraid Gangrel is not the correct answer. James, Shane, we got DDP.
Yeah, he's right. I guess Kurgan.
Kurgan certainly making a mark in Hollywood and B films, but indeed, Diamond Dallas Page working alongside, if I'm not mistaken, he shares the scene with Danny Trejo.
Yes, that is correct.
Machete?
Machete.
Kevin Nash, not quite. Kevin Nash was the popular choice in on Twitch, in our chat room.
No, he was in Punisher and Magic Mike, but he was in Punisher in his violent role, not in the other one. Yes,
and in John Wick, very briefly, but good
I
stuff.
couldn't watch those movies. I love dogs too much. Anyway,
That's completely fair. Completely fair. James Vanderbeek, we're gonna kick off round 2 with your first question. Following the dissolving of the corporate ministry, Undertaker would form a short-lived but very dominant tag team with The Big Show. What was the name of this tag team? Spoilers, it was not Undertaker and The Big Show.
spoilers.
The show takers? I have no idea.
I feel like that's what their name would be if it was contemporary WWE, but it was not the show takers. Taryn, Shane, what do you have?
I don't have much, but I'm taking a guess here.
nothing.
What do you got, Taryn? Go ahead.
Nothing.
Oh, I'm just gonna write Union. Because that's a guess. I don't know.
It
No
was
idea.
it was a kind of a union, I suppose, if you think so. In fact, it was a union of what you might call a unholy alliance.
Unholy Alliance.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wasn't that
Holy-
also a thing in WCW?
I mean, probably.
Yeah, it doesn't
Didn't
sound like it's
Kevin,
the
what's
most
his name,
original
have that?
name.
What's his name? Kevin Sullivan. I think he had that, didn't he? No, am I wrong? Chat, please fill me in, please. Thank you. I can't see you, but Zach
Yeah.
will translate.
Yeah, we'll pop in any the answer to Kevin Sullivan's WCW faction. I mean, Dungeon of Doom.
No, that was
Is that
Dungeon
them?
of Doom, but then maybe it was an ECW thing. Dr. Bob would know.
Dr. Bob, if we can get you to weigh in, your research would be much appreciated. James, your second question. Name 2 of the 8 wrestlers who competed in WCW's Chamber of Horrors match at Halloween Havoc 91.
Abdullah the Butcher and Rick Steiner.
Good shout, friend. That is absolutely 2 of the people who performed in that match.
Booyah.
We had Sting, we had El Gigante, we had Rick Steiner, Scott Steiner, Abdullah the Butcher, the Diamond Stud, Cactus Jack, and Big Van Vader. What do you got? Cactus Jack and what?
Dang, Abby.
Good shouts all around. The points are yours, James. We move on to the Unholy Alliance. Was
There you
Whipwreck.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
ECW.
See? I knew it was a thing.
Thank you very much for weighing in. We have solved the mystery of the other Unholy Alliance. That's a match I want to see. I want to see Big Show and Undertaker versus Tajiri and Mikey Whipwreck.
Ooh, man, that's outrageous.
I knew that was a thing.
Beautiful, beautiful. Shane, your first of 2 questions for round 2. Who did the Monster Abyss wrestle in his very last match with Impact Wrestling in June of 2019?
I'm going to guess because I genuinely have no idea. I'm going to say AJ Styles.
AJ Styles is not the correct answer.
I don't know. I don't watch TNA.
Taryn, James, do you care to venture a guess on this one?
I'm going to guess one Thomas Dreamer.
Was not Mr. Thomas Dreamer. Taryn is leaving this one. Is out.
Yeah.
The answer. Dare Amazing pulls out the answer. It was in fact Eli Drake in a Monsters Ball match at Impact Homecoming, and that was the last we saw of the Monster before he went on to WWE to work as a producer. Or
how many stars in that match?
Oh, that's a very good question. I'm going to have to defer to Dave. I don't know if Mr. Meltzer himself is joining us this evening, but if he can weigh in.
Big Dave.
Once again, the value of the people joining us in the chat is invaluable. Shane, your second question.
Mm-hmm.
Here it comes. What was Papa Shango's finishing move? You don't have to write this one down. Are you Googling it?
No, I was writing it down. Sorry.
That's okay.
It's the black puke sludge thing that he did. He made people choke on their own black puke.
No, I'm sorry. That was not the answer. The correct answer.
Pretty sure it is.
I mean, maybe he finished someone off with that, but he had another move that he was known for. He certainly attacked the Ultimate Warrior a couple times with the black sludge, but I don't know if he. Okay, we might have our first contested question here on Quizplex.
I don't know.
What are the moops?
Do we have an answer from Taryn or James?
I'm gonna guess. Didn't he do a nerve pinch on the arm or the shoulder or whatever?
No, I'm afraid that is not. This was.
No, I think he did though. I think he did. Maybe it was not the finish, but I think.
Can I say the Moors?
Yep.
The Moors.
I'm afraid we're looking for something a little bit more traditional than all of that. It was just the inverted shoulder breaker. I mean, again, he did finish matches with that, and that's what was attributed to into in video games. This was okay. Maybe it was dicey. Maybe we have to come to review the tape on this one. But Wordsmith
an inverted shoulder breaker for a finish. Who would lie down for that? Give me a break.
I think Scott Norton used it too in WCW, if I'm not mistaken.
Scott Norton is one of the most powerful human beings in the world. Okay, so it's different. Whatever.
that is fair. They're amazing. Sending fire to someone's shoes. Yeah, that would
much more of a finishing move than a shoulder breaker. I'm just saying. Okay, just saying.
We conclude round 2, and we got to take another look at the scoreboard, and that's when Spencer is going to pop on in, and once again, make me take a little sipsy.
Make everyone take a little sipsy, Zach. Come on, this isn't a Zach specific game. This is an everybody viewing if they choose to partake game. Of course, we want to encourage drinking responsibly and not step on any toes as far as that goes. However, this game has tightened up, friends. Not only have we got nearly a 3-way tie, but first and second are only separated by 100 points. TFA and James, we got you at 200, and Hawk, you are leading the game going into the final round with 300 points. However,
Andrew.
However, our final round, Zach will reveal the rules, but it is still, of course, anyone's game heading into the final round.
Could not have said it.
I'm just kidding. I didn't press the button by mistake. Ha-ha! Look at me picking on only Zach.
I didn't say only me.
You got black sludge. That's what happened. Finishing move.
Again, I don't think he's picking on me specifically, but I'm not going to say I'm not a major part of his focus when it comes to this little drinking game here. But yes, I couldn't have put it better than Spencer just did. We are moving into round 3. Lots of points on the table. Gameplay is just a little bit different, but we're going to take a look at that right after this very quick break. So, do what you need to do during these next 2 minutes. We're going to be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are now on an intermission, so do what you will. Refresh your drinks, go to the bathroom, feed your dog, feed your cat if you are so inclined. I don't know why you would be feeding a dog or a cat at this particular hour, because it is Quizplex, and every single ounce of your focus should be on this show. So, the cat, the dog can wait. Grandmother can wait on the phone for a few more moments. Call her back. She can wait. You are watching Quizplex right here on lovewrestling.ca.
Before we carry on with round 3, quick shout out to our very own Astrid over in the Twitch chat. Yes, I absolutely did steal your pose just there, and I'm going to admit I did it completely subliminally. I just did the Astrid pose, and it's just indoctrinated. I've been indoctrinated.
Gimmick
What is it?
It's like the this thing, this little gimmick right here.
I like that.
This?
Yeah,
It's not like
Yeah,
this. Isn't it supposed to be like this?
yeah. Well, I mean, like I think there's variations. I think there's room to be creative with the Astrid, like that. We're all kind of like doing it. James, where's your Astrid?
James, come on.
It's a
There
good
we go.
Astrid. 5-star Astrid right there.
Friends, we are moving into the third and final round. And again, as mentioned, big points are on the table. Gameplay is just a little bit different. In this one, each player is only going to get one question, but correct answers for the active player are worth 500 points, and correct answers for questions stolen from the active player are worth 250 points. Lots of room for this scoreboard to shift. Shayne may be in the lead right now, but like this could turn around very quickly. Are we ready, friends?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Shayne, we're going to kick it off with you. Your first, your only question, force of habit,
Right.
please excuse me.
You're excused.
What was the Boogeyman's gimmick hometown in the
Parts
WWE?
unknown.
I'm afraid it was not parts unknown.
I was so confident too.
It's okay, man. It's okay. We're going to get through this together. Taryn, James, what do you got?
I didn't get to write it. I have peanut butter on my hands, but I'm going to say your closet.
That'd be a good one. But I'm afraid it's not the closet. What
I
do you got,
made
James?
something probably goofy and ridiculous. The Edge of Time.
I like
gimmick.
I like
I'm
all
gonna
of
come from
these.
there now.
The Time as well.
It's my new hometown.
Oh, there you go.
They're amazing with the correct answer. The bottomless pit. It's where
What a nerd.
where Boogeyman and
Yeah,
Little
wouldn't you just
Boogie.
keep falling? Like, where do you put your things?
Well, the worms help. The worms will cushion you.
Maybe he like lassoed himself with the worms. I don't know. I'm
Should have been parts unknown. Every spooky character should be from parts unknown. It's a trope. Come on.
That's fair. I think that's
Widow
like somewhere near
Pins.
Dudleyville as well.
It was, yeah.
With that, Taryn, we've got a question for you. Moving into the for the third and final round. Your question: at Halloween Havoc 1989, Ric Flair and Sting battled Terry Funk and the Great Muta in a structure very similar to Hell in a Cell. What did WCW name this cage?
What would I name a cage? The Dog Pound.
Nice.
I'm afraid it was not the Dog Pound. Professor H. James Vanderbeek. Nothing from Shayne.
I am drawing a literal blank.
A literal blank. The answer is a very popular word in the WWE vernacular. It was indeed Dare Amazing. Wow, Dare Amazing. We got to have Dara on the show sometime.
I said Terror Dome, not Thunderdome. Fool. Curse me.
No, long before the WWE had an LED screen set with all of our faces, the WCW used the Thunderdome for their electrified cage match with a roof and all that jazz. Third and final question of round 3 goes to James Vanderbeek. Rowdy Roddy Piper's big break in film came in 1988 with They Live. But earlier that same year, he played Sam Hell in what post-apocalyptic sci-fi film?
Oh my goodness.
I know this. Oh man.
I'm going to afford everyone just a little extra time because this seems like it's getting very dramatic and I live for the drama.
Like something like Mr. Toad Comes to Town or some crap similar to that or something about a toad. I don't know. I don't know.
You are close. You are close, but not close enough, I'm afraid. What do you have, Taryn?
Well,
Mr. Frog. I'm not going to say anymore.
So, can I say mine? Go. Taryn, what you got?
I don't know.
Finding Nemo.
So I put this.
Frog Comes to Town. Once again, so close, but I'm afraid I cannot award points
Mr.
for
Hell
that
Comes
answer.
to Frog Town or something like that.
Taryn, what do you have?
I don't know.
It's again, we were
I put
also
Mad Max, okay? Because I don't know anything.
Yo, he would be sick in that movie though. I'd be down.
he would be sick. But the answer, again, you guys were dancing around it.
Hell
It's
comes to
Frog comes to Frog
I
Town.
knew there was a frog in it.
Yeah.
I knew
We're
there was a frog.
nerds.
I'm old.
I'm wearing an Undertaker shirt.
Literally, I'm dressed like Santa Claus on a Thursday night. What are you talking about?
Beauty and the Beast.
I have cardboard cat ears.
Cooler than it's pretty cool. Let's do the Seinfeld trivia she was going for.
It's
I can
over,
nail
wait.
that too.
Game's over, right?
Any Seinfeld.
The game is over. So we're
Does
going to
that mean?
invite Spencer to come in and declare the scoreboard and declare who the winner is of our Halloween edition of Quizplex and make us all take a sip.
I'm done. I'm done my drink.
Look, I got a lot of different screens to shift when I'm trying to get back on screen and edit all of this sort of stuff. StreamYard makes it very convenient, and I will also plug their excellent
You are a marvelous
your
multitasker,
music.
sir. You are a marvelous multitasker.
Thank you. I try to do my best and have fun, and that's what matters at the end of the day. If that's what our contestants did at the end of the day, then that's what makes all of us winners here on Love Wrestling. However, there is one winner at both the game and, of course, at trying their best and having fun. Following our final round, it is Professor H Shayne Hawke, your new Quizplex champion. Now, of course, we are going to give you the big screen. We need a quick speech. Who do you want to thank? Who do you want to show some love to?
All right. First of all, I've been in professional wrestling since I was 13 years old in 2003, and the boyhood dream has come true. I knew when I started as a preteen in this industry that one day I would make it here to the top, to the cream of the crop of the ladder. This Quizplex championship, I could not be more. There's a belt for this, right? Or money or something?
There's you win a $25 gift card at ProWrestlingTees.com.
Sick. All right, it's not enough to ship to Canada. Boom. I'm going to take this opportunity to plug at IWS Hardcore on every single platform, the show that I run on the TV, 22 countries worldwide on the Fight Network, and the IWS Pro Dojo, my co-coach, Speedball Mike Bailey. I am going to use my victory to tell you that you can only win if you come to my dojo. Andrew.
An impassioned Shayne Hawke with a tremendous victory speech, man. Absolutely.
What a promo! And
Andrew.
CFG, we would like to thank you guys for the raid. Thank you guys for hopping in. You got here just in time for an excellent victory speech. I really hope you go back, you watch it again. It was an absolute blast for me to get to listen to. Like that was a treat.
That was an
I get
absolute
clout now,
blast.
right? I get clout. That's the thing. I get clout on the internet.
I think that's what the youths are calling it. I think that was added to like Merriam-Webster a couple years ago.
Yes.
So we're probably already behind the times, but you know,
Clout.
that is
TikTok.
what it is.
Zoomer.
Nice.
Yeah.
Exactly. Hogwarts. I don't know.
No, that's our generation, dude. No.
I'm gonna see.
Bratz dolls. Cabbage
So
Patch Kids.
before we sign off and just go on a tangent of all the Zoomerisms that we could, I'm going to defer to our guests. Oh, you took off the mask. I was going to refer to you as James Housen, but I'm going to ask the audience, ask our contestants, starting with James, where to follow y'all on social media.
All right. You can follow me at James Vanderbeek. It's at JAIMS Vanderbeek. And you can also follow my podcast at The Steel Cage. So, yeah, give us a follow on Twitter. Same handle on Instagram. So it makes it easy. Brand synergy.
Brand synergy. We move on to Taryn from accounting. Where can the audience follow you on ye old socials?
Frick, Zach, you caught me again. I have to look on Twitter to see what my Twitter name is.
Yo, I got you.
It's at TFA Wrestling on Twitter. And then on my Instagram is Taryn_A_K.
Right on. And we move on to Champ. On top of your handles, again, let us know about the upcoming IWS show.
Hey, so I gave out the IWS handles, but not my own. At Superstar Hawk with an E at the end on every single platform. We have a hell of an event for you on November 13th. The Voros 10's taking on the TDT. Look, folks, if you follow the Canadian scene, you know that Canada has some real hidden gems in it. Nothing is more polished than the IWS. Check us out. The IWS International Wrestling Syndicate on the Fight Network.
Couldn't say it better as a mere humble fan of the IWS product myself. Once again, thank you to everyone who joined us here on Quizplex here at Love Wrestling. I'm sure Spencer's going to pop in and let us know who to raid.
Oh my goodness, we're even finishing each other's
Beer.
Sandwiches.
Oh, right. You know what? Sandwiches was
Answers
what
all
I was
around.
going for, but beer was the right answer, to be quite honest with you. Following today's programming, I would like to, of course, thank our 3 contestants and, of course, our brand new Quizplex champion for joining us. You'll be going up against Veda Scott and someone to win a championship in the future in our upcoming championships edition. However, we are going to be going and rating our friends, if you're tuned in on Twitch, to our friends at Putting You Over. Right now, they're chatting with Levi Cooper. Of course, you guys know him from WWE as Tucker. They've got an exclusive interview going on live right now. So we're going to go hang out with them if you're on YouTube, if you're on Facebook. Thank you, of course, for joining. If you want to quickly tune into Twitch, I know Zach's going to do all of our plugs and that sort of stuff. So hop on the friendship train, I suppose, to put it as lamely as I can. Zach, close her out. Give people some time here to tune in on Twitch. We will be joining them in about 30 seconds over on Putting You Over. And thank you, bada bing, bada boom, for joining us here on Love Wrestling.
Taking over the friendship train. Woo-hoo! You can follow Love Wrestling CA on pretty much every major social media platform: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Once again, that's Love Wrestling CA. You can follow myself at SmarkMouth on Twitter, at Smark.mouth on Instagram, and you can follow my Pride and Joy, the Smark and Friends podcast, Smark and Friends on Twitter. Thanks so much for tuning in tonight for Quizplex. We're going to be back next month, last Thursday of every month. We will see you then.
Andrew.
Ladies and gentlemen, the points have been tallied, the winners have been announced, the losers have been sent packing, and I am still as ever Mr. J, better than everyone that competed tonight. It is, as always, a fact of life. In case you're wondering when this lovely, lovely show will be returning, it is the last Thursday of each and every month, right here on lovewrestling.ca. We hope that you will return next month, and we hope that you enjoyed this evening's festivities